for me to explain, alright? I'm going to click on Euclidean geometry, alright? And the first thing I pull up is a picture of somebody holding a ball. And Euclidean geometry, which I think I sent that to you, is also plane as in plane geometry. Now think about that term, alright?
Yeah.
It says Eleusinian geometry is a mathematical system attributed to Alexandrian Greek mathematician. What?
Eleusinian. That sounds.
Or Euclidean.
Euclid, right?
Maybe it's Euclid, okay. Described in his textbook on geometry the elements, okay, which needs to be looked at as well, which I have looked at. Euclid's method consists in assuming a small set of intuitively appealing axioms, alright? Now, do you know what axioms means? I'm going to click on it and I'll tell you, okay? An axiom or postulate is a statement that is taken to be true. Now, think about that, Johnny. Think about what I just said. An axiom or postulate is a statement that is taken to be true. That doesn't mean it's true, okay? That does not mean it's true, Johnny. It's taken to be true, all right? To serve as a premise or starting point for further reasoning and arguments. Now, let's stop right there. In other words, I can just make some shit up, Johnny, and it may or may not be true. And we'll start from this point, okay, and go from there. Do you see the problem here, Johnny?
Wow.
The word comes from axioma, that which is thought worthy, that which is thought worthy or fit, that which commends itself as evident. The term has subtle differences in definition when used in the context of different fields of study. As defined in classic philosophy, an axiom is a statement that is so evident or well established that it is accepted without controversy or question. Okay? In other words, it can be complete bullshit, but we accept it without controversy or question. As used in modern logic, an axiom is simply a premise or starting point for reasoning. Okay?
Wow.
A starting point for reasoning, Johnny. It could be, it's just accepted.
It's like, so you just make up some shit. We're going to start this. We're going to start this axiom right now, which is...
You know, I can say right now, Johnny, that I think you are. I think your leg is black. Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Just based on. You know what I mean? I just think it's a reasonable conclusion, Johnny. That's a good starting point.
I mean,
right?
it's probable. I mean, this is.
It's a reasonable conclusion, Johnny. You know what I mean? Based on the fact that I'm an expert, okay?
Oh man, it's freaking Shell Beach, man. We're in a snow globe. Hey, there's the inner Earth, like where there's like reptiles and like aliens and giants down there. And there's two holes. There's a hole in the North Pole and there's a hole in the South Pole. I saw this video the other day, man. It tripped me out, dude. It was pretty cool though.
You never seen that before?
No, man. But it reminded me of Book of Enoch or whatever.
Yes, Euclid's method consists in assuming. You know what assuming is, don't you, John?
Oh, you're assuming, John. I can't believe you. I don't know if it's true.
A small set of intuitively meaning that I have great intuition, all right? Appealing axioms, okay?
Axiom, yeah.
You know, meaning starting points of reasonable bullshit.
Made up bullshit.
Right? And deducing many other propositions, theorems from these, okay? In other words, we base our theories and other bullshit based on this pile of bullshit we've already created, okay? That's based on what? Alright? Just, I think this is the truth, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Although many of Euclid's results have been stated by earlier mathematicians, Euclid was the first to show how these propositions, okay, which were just theories, all right, that were based on bullshit, could fit into a comprehensive, deductive, and logical system, all right? In other words, we're just going to make it up as we go along, right? The elements begin with plane geometry, still taught in secondary school, not first-hand school, as the first axiomatic system and the first examples of formal proof. Goes on to the solid geometry of 3 dimensions. Much of the element states results of what are now called algebra and number theory explained in geometrical language. By the way, I always thought that was fucking bullshit too. You know what I mean? Algebra and all that. You know what I mean? I haven't applied it to any part of my life. But anyway, nevertheless. Okay, plane geometry is another name for, I'm assuming.
No, but that's a good point. That's a good point, John. Like, I don't think about geometry like that either. Like, you have to be, or even math. I mean, like, math does come in hand, but even numbers themselves, or I guess numbers.
When have you used algebra in your fucking life?
No, but even numbers themselves, like words are made up, numbers are made up, words are made up. But numbers do make more sense because you can count something, you know.
Yeah.
But like words are just complete, like spells or something. For all we know, we're just.
Yeah.
You know, because we could be. Yeah. That could be what's holding us back from being like superheroes, is because of the language. Because like for all we know, everything we say comes true. So, like, we're putting spells on ourselves from some other ancient language. Everything we say is like a spell, you know?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, really. I think the English language is a complete fucking made-up language that is a culprit, man.
Yeah.
As crazy as that fucking sounds, Johnny.
So it's like we have to make up our own like language. We have to learn what sounds mean positive things or something. I don't know. Because even the word hello, like you answer the phone, you say hell. Or helio or hello.
The problem is, Johnny, that we're so fucking fucked that
we're so fucking fucked.
that nobody's gonna fucking, you know, I mean, it's just gonna be, it's going to have to be another generation of people to figure this, to really get this shit out of their head and come to truth, you know what I mean? And it's probably not gonna be a lot of people, but it's gonna take a generation or so to get this shit out of people's heads, you know?
Yeah.
I think we're obviously the generation that's going to start this, but unfortunately, it's going to take a while for it to catch on. You know.
Yeah. All right. So you're getting back to the geometry stuff.
Yeah, it says in plane. This is plane geometry, right? Mm-hmm. Euclid geometry is also known as plane geometry, okay? Mm-hmm. When I say plane, I don't mean plane as in plane. I mean plane as in plane. I mean plane as in plane.
So okay? Plane as in like the Great Plains?
Like the plane is in like, like a stretched out plane.
Yeah, okay, a flat surface.
Not in the sense of just a plain piece of paper. You know what I
mean? Or an airplane.
Yeah, well, it's spelled the same, but yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. In mathematics, plane geometry may refer to the geometry of a two-dimensional geometric object called a plane. Alright? Most times it's referred to Euclidean plane geometry, the geometry of plane figures. Alright, see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now let's go to plane. Let's see what plane means, right? Plane, in mathematics, listen to this, Johnny. A plane is a flat two-dimensional surface that extends infinitely far. Okay?
What?
A plane is the two-dimensional analogue point, a line in three-dimensional space. Planes can arise as subspaces of some higher dimensional space, as with a room's walls extended infinitely far, or they may enjoy an independent existence in their own right as a setting of Euclidean geometry.
So, my leg could be infinite if I want it to be, because it's like because it's, this is imaginary, this is imaginary land, like a plane is a two-dimensional infinite line in three-dimensional space.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So we put a lot of bullshit into it, but at least we're describing what a plane means. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to a ball or something. You know what I mean?
Or a perfect sphere. A sphere.
Euclid, set forth the first great landmark of mathematical thought, an axiomatic treatment of geometry, meaning a bullshit treatment of geometry that we just pull shit out of our ass as a starting point for other bullshit. Okay? It should be axiomatic instead of axiomatic.
Oh, man. Because when you really think about it, you're right. Like, it is just all bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a bunch of made up, and like they act like they sound so smart. It's like,
I know, man. It's so fucked up, dude. Listen to this shit. Okay? Topological and differential geometric notions. The one-point compactification of the plane is homomorphic to a sphere. See stereographic projection. Stereographic projection.
Yeah.
The open disk is homomorphic to a sphere with the North Pole missing. Adding the point completes the compact sphere.
Patty.
The result of this compactification is a manifold referred to as the Riemann sphere or the complex projective line. The projection from the Euclidean plane to a sphere without a point is a diffeomorphism and even a conformal map. A conformal map. Now, what does it mean to conform? It means to conform to a certain thing, image. Conform means
to be a slave.
To
do the opposite of rebel.
Change your way, your structure, or to change. To
accept the authority.
to accept the authority, or to accept whatever the
conform
the
to
thing
anything.
is, to change to
say yes. Say yes to everything.
To that substance or that thing or that ideal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, say yes to everything. Or say yes to that. Conform to that. Say
exactly.
Yes. Accept.
Yes.
I will comply.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was telling Bob earlier on the show. I was like, dude, if a cop tells you to do some shit, you better do it, man. They'll shoot your ass. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And like, I there is some rebel in me, but when it comes to the police, man, they're like young kids nowadays that are like football players that want to just shoot motherfuckers, you know?
Yeah.
So when they pull me over, I'll do whatever you say, officer. Have a great day.
You want to look up the stereographic projection?
Yeah, I was gonna type that word next to the one I typed after.
That's the one that I thought I sent that to you. The stereographic projection.
There's like 5 words.
That is connected to the steers. Okay, that word is connected to the steers. All right, stereo.
Yeah, stereo.
And think about she was in radio for a while. Stereo.
Yeah. You know, and you think about the word radio, rad, I-O, and you think about input, output. Because I-O is on everything. In the studio, you got input, output, I-O. And then, like, when I hear the word radio, even before I knew you, I always thought about that. I was like, rad, I-O, like radical, input, output, you know, like, and then like now I know you, like I'm thinking about the frequencies in the airwaves, and like radical is like rebellious, it's kind of like satanic, you know. I don't know, man.
Didn't I send this to you, the stereographic projection? Because you need to look at this, man, because it's a mall on the plane. It's a mall on the plane. That's what I'm looking at. If I didn't send it to you, I'll send it to you right now.
Yeah, that's what they made. That's how they made the maps.
Exactly, Johnny. Exactly.
I was reading
it says in geometry, the stereographic projection is a particular mapping function, okay, that projects a sphere onto a plane. Projects a sphere onto a plane.
Wow.
It doesn't mean that it's real. It doesn't mean that there's really a sphere on a plane. It projects, meaning it causes a image to be displayed of a sphere on a plane, okay? Because they're trying to tell you that when they use this word for sphere, it's a compact type of, it's the small sphere represents being compact, being whole, being holistic, okay, in the sense of we are one big holistic world, okay? That is what the imagery is trying to display. It is not trying to give you, at least not necessarily initially, the ideal of a global world, but rather a global concept of us being all one big, complete, holistic world that is compact, that is, I don't know if I'm making any sense. But that is what this imagery, it's trying to, it's not, it wasn't to be taken real, all right?
Yeah, I know. They made it up. This is an axiom.
Their agenda.
This is an axiom world, John.
Yes.